Haskell's annual Welcome Back powwow is set for this Friday. More on that coming up.
Bethany Yellowtail, a Crow member, has partnered with Carhartt with a limited edition collection later in the show.
And a heartfelt 60 Scoop reunion. More details on the way.
Welcome to Good Morning Indian Country. I'm Shia Blackcloud.
And I'm Allison Levering. We're coming to you live from our studio inside of Stauffer Flint Hall at the University of Kansas. Haskell's first open market of the semester was busy with a great turnout from vendors and shoppers.
GMIC's Caden Baird takes us there.
Located right next to the intersection of Barker and Indian, Haskell's Stidham Union Building comes alive most months with the sounds of small business and the smells of fresh fry bread and baked goods. With artists and local entrepreneurs on their minds, Rachel Lackey and Mackie Moore created the Indian Open Market as a way to give a small community like Lawrence big opportunities.
You can only sell food products at the farmers market, which cuts a big percentage of especially the native population that sells a whole lot of other things than just food. So we came up with this idea to create an opportunity for students, but of course general public as well, to be able to sell their goods. It's free for both vendors and the general public. We provide tables and chairs for everybody, and it is based upon a first come, first served basis. My general rule is as long as it's legal, you can sell it.
Despite what the name may suggest, the Indian Open Market welcomes all its vendors and patrons, regardless of heritage and age.
We're trying to create opportunities for everybody, not just for natives. So yes, you do not have to be Native American in order to sell your products here.
Not only does the market provide customers with homemade art, it can also provide a community for the artists.
I enjoy coming to this. Like, I get excited to show up and meet everybody. Like today I came in and everyone that was setting up, I was like, oh, my friends are here. Like, it's a great experience.
The Open Market is not the only event helping to bring up local Native artists and small business owners. The Haskell Indian Nation's USDA Extension Program provides various events for the benefit of the Lawrence community and its surrounding regions.
We run events that are Native American focused and non-Native American focused, and the events are vast, crafting, cooking, agriculture.
Going from only scrunchies and just some dream catchers to this, like, it's due to the USDA Haskell extension.
Even with the open market, some feel small business help for natives still leaves something to be desired in Kansas.
I think overall there needs to be most definitely more entrepreneurship opportunities for Native Americans because there's such a large population here.
For Good Morning Indian Country, Caden Baird.
If you missed out this weekend, no worries. You can catch these great vendors at the October Market scheduled for October the 18th and again in November on the 22nd.
Next up, Haskell Indian Nations is welcoming back the community with its annual Fall Powwow. The celebration takes place September 26th at the Haskell Powwow Grounds in Lawrence. Grand entry begins at 6 o'clock in the evening, and this event is free and open to the public, featuring drum groups, dancers, art, and food vendors.
Organizers say the powwow is a way to bring families, alumni, students, and community members together to honor Native culture and celebrate the start of the fall semester. More information on becoming a vendor, please contact Skyla Wilson at Haskell.
We are currently hoping for good weather this weekend as we look ahead to those events.
GMIC's Emma Coffey joins us to let us know if we'll need sunscreen or umbrellas. Emma?
Well, as of Tuesday, fall is officially here, but unfortunately for all you fall weather lovers, it's not quite hit that peak just yet. This week specifically, we're going to be seeing a rise in temperatures back up to the mid to high 80s, as well as much more sunshine throughout the course of the week and into the weekend. With that also comes some higher humidity, but lower wind speed, so it's going to feel hot, it might feel a little muggy, and it might feel a little sticky. Taking a look now at Wednesday's forecast, a high of 70 degrees, cloudy skies, and scattered rain showers throughout the day, currently sitting at around a 60% chance of rain. That humidity is all the way up at 87%, and those wind speeds are capping off at around 11 miles per hour. So with that rain and with those wind speeds, it is making for a pretty brisk but still nice day with that rain. Taking a look at our hourly planner for Wednesday, 12 p.m. we're sitting at around 65 degrees, wind speeds north-northeast at 10 miles per hour, up to 69 degrees at 2 p.m. and our high for the day is sitting at 70 degrees, and that's happening at around 5 p.m. By 8 p.m. we've dropped back down to our mid-60s, high of 64 degrees, and our wind speeds have dropped all the way back down to 3 miles per hour. Looking at our Wednesday night forecast, a low of 53 degrees. That's pretty much as close to fall weather as we're getting for this week with that Wednesday night forecast. Partly cloudy skies, so our rain is going to let up just a little bit. Lighter winds and higher humidity. Our humidity's back up to that 87% mark, but our wind speeds have dropped down to 4 miles per hour. Taking a look now at Thursday's forecast, a bit of a shift, high of 80 degrees, so about a 10-degree jump from Wednesday until Thursday. Mostly sunny skies, so throughout the night, those clouds from Wednesday will have completely dissipated into mostly sunshine. Lower wind speeds again, sitting at around 5 miles per hour, and our humidity is rising back up just a little bit to 66%. Now here in a little bit, we'll talk about our national weather in Lawrence, and just a little bit if you're planning to head out to the booth for the football game this Saturday. But for now, back to the desk.
The University of Alaska is facing budget cuts. More details after the break.
Good Morning Indian Country is supported by Press Forward, the nationwide initiative strengthening communities through local news.
What slide is it on? It's fine. I think it's okay. I clicked to the next slide. So as long as it doesn't say Thursday. Okay.
Welcome back. New Mexico Pueblo leaders joined members of the state's congressional delegation in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday to reiterate opposition to oil and gas development near Chaco Culture National Historical Park. The archaeological sites in New Mexico's northwest corner hold spiritual and cultural value for the New Mexico's 20 pueblos. The site also lies in the midst of the San Juan Basin, one of the busiest gas-producing areas in the United States. In May, the U.S. Bureau of Land Management sent a letter to few leaders of the New Mexico Pueblos, writing that the agency was considering a Biden-era ban on drilling within 10 miles of Chaco. The possible revocation comes as the Trump administration considers mining in currently protected lands at the national monuments considered sacred to tribal nations. In April, members of the New Mexico's congressional delegation reintroduced legal legislation to make permanent the ban on development. But a competing Republican backed the bill, and the Trump administration's efforts to unwind the order threatened that process, the delegation said later in a June letter.
Also, officials at the University of Alaska are saying that previously announced cuts to federally funded programs for Alaska Native and Native Hawaiian students will be worse than initially thought. At the University of Alaska, Fairbanks, the canceled funding will amount to an estimated $8.8 million. University of Alaska Southeast programs will also be affected, but to a lesser degree. University administration says the elimination of the grant funding for the University of Alaska Fairbanks affects programs at the Bristol Bay campus in Dillingham and in Fairbanks at the Community and Technical College focused on career training and workforce development, as well as student services The $8.8 million in lost funding is part of a previously awarded 5-year grant, totaling $12.9 million.
A family reunion decades in the making. A family reunion decades in the making is the focus of our next story. Lorraine Sinclair and her siblings, Cindy and Gerald Monroe, traveled from northern Manitoba in Canada to North Dakota to finally meet up with their long missing sister who was taken from their family in 1971. During this era known as the 60s Scoop, a period when Canadian authorities removed an estimated 30,000 First Nations, Métis, and Inuit children from their homes.
Many of the Native children caught in the 60s Scoop were adopted into non-Native families across Canada. The United States and beyond, Elizabeth was just 1 year old when she was adopted by a white family in Minnesota. Lorraine, Cindy, and Gerald were also taken from their mother and placed into foster care, where they were largely raised in separate households. ICT was there when the siblings reconnected.
Lorraine Sinclair has been waiting for this day her entire life.
How are you doing this morning? I'm excited. I'm really excited. We'll be off soon.
Lorraine's siblings, Cindy and Gerald Monroe, are here for emotional support. They will drive another 2 hours to Ellendale, North Dakota to find their missing sister. She was taken away from their family in 1971. She is now a ward of the state of North Dakota. They are going there to find out what has happened to her.
A little emotional once in a while. It's like, yeah. But we'll be fine.
Elizabeth was only 4 years old when she was adopted by a white family in Minnesota. She was part of the 60s Scoop. Cindy, Lorraine, and Gerald were also taken away and raised in separate families far apart from one another. They were able to reunite in the early 90s. As they reach their destination, emotions are running high.
The only part I don't think I'm going to like is when we leave, because she's going to cry. She's going to cry.
Their sister, Elizabeth, knows they're coming and she's waiting for them at the door.
Oh, God. Everybody has to find their family, and we can't leave anybody behind. No one should be left behind.
And if you would like to watch the rest of this amazing reunion story, head on over to ictnews.org. We will also share the link of the full story on our GMIC Facebook page.
Bethany Yellowtail, an acclaimed Native American designer and Montana native, has partnered with Carhartt to celebrate Native American heritage in a limited edition fall collection. Carhartt recently released a video highlighting Yellowtail's story, from growing up on her family's cattle ranch in Wyola on the Crow Reservation to launching her own fashion business. The collection reflects shared histories of hard work and heritage woven into each piece. The first item in the collection is a woven Montana active jacket featuring a mountain motif inspired by Yellowtail's childhood home. The jacket, part of Carhartt's 50th anniversary, celebrates the active jacket. The full Carhartt x Bethany Yellowtail collection is set to release this October.
Emma is back with more weather for us. Emma?
Thanks, Shia. Well, if you are heading to the booth this Saturday for KU's football game against Cincinnati, here's a little bit of the forecast that you might be expecting. In that morning time frame around 9 a.m., we're sitting at around 61 degrees, partly cloudy skies. By the time kickoff happens at 11 a.m., we're up to 71 degrees. Once again, those clouds are still pretty prevalent up until our afternoon time frame towards the end of the game at around 3 p.m. high of 80 and all sunny skies. By the evening time frame, around 8 to 9 p.m., we've dropped back down to 69 degrees. Along with that changes our wind speeds in the morning and during kickoff. Wind speeds are sitting at around 9 miles per hour. By the afternoon, they've dropped down just a little bit to 6 miles per hour, and by the evening, we're all the way back down to 3 miles per hour. So overall, looking like a pretty nice day if you are planning to attend that football game. Taking a look now at our weekly forecast, like we said, showers on Wednesday, high of 70 degrees, and that is pretty much all the rain we're going to be seeing for just a little bit, so enjoy that while you can. Thursday, again, up to 80 degrees, and our temperatures are only rising from there all the way until Saturday and Sunday, high of 85 degrees. That's our high for the week. Lots of sunshine. Sunshine is going to be prevalent as we continue through the end of this week and into next week. Monday and Tuesday, high of 83 degrees, partly cloudy skies, so those clouds are coming back just a little bit. After this week, we're going to be seeing a bit of a dip in temperatures, but for right now, we're still soaking in that last little bit of summer weather. That's all we have for weather this week. Back to you, Shia and Allison.
Thanks, Emma. I sure am excited about that football game. And on the topic of sports, Millie Favela will be back with sports after the break.
Thank you to the Henry Luce Foundation for their support of Good Morning Indian Country.
Welcome back to your weekly recap of sports all over Indian Country with me, Millie Favela. Fall is approaching, and that means that volleyball is back for the Lady Indians of Haskell Indian Nations University. The team has already played in 21 games this season, holds an overall record of 6-15, and is 1-0 in conference play. The ladies are 5-2 on home court, but are falling behind on the road 1-13. Although the team lost some notable players like Asia Benali and Jennifer Tumasiv, the team has welcomed some new talent in right side hitter Truly Jim. Junior outside hitter and sister Tressa Jim had 23 kills in a single game against Peru State College, bringing her total to 27, and has dug for 24 balls this season. Sophomore middleback Maya Delguy has clocked 17 total kills thus far, and 5'10" sophomore Haley Kelsey clocked 10 total points against Peru State College. The ladies will hit the road to Fulton, Missouri on Wednesday to face Missouri Valley College at 5 p.m. and William Woods University at 7 p.m. On Saturday, they will play in another tri-meet against Evangel University at 1 p.m. and Kansas Wesleyan University at 3 p.m. Both men's and women's cross-country teams over at Haskell have already competed in 2 meets this season. The Lady Indians came in 7th at the Bob Timmons Invitational with an average time of just under 24.5 minutes, while the men's team placed 4th in the 6K race with an average time of 20 minutes and 18 seconds. In the Larry Young Invitational earlier this month, the women finished the 5K in 10th place, and the men came in 5th in the 8K race with Diami Barrage and Javen Hale finishing in the top 10. Up next, we have an Indigenous golfer who continues to make a name for himself, Aiden Thomas. The Laguna Pueblo native claimed victory in his professional debut at the 2025 New Mexico Open at Turtleback Mountain Golf and Resort last week. The rookie shot to the top of the leaderboard with an impressive 12 under par performance in the 3-day tournament. Thomas won the 2018 New Mexico 5A Individual State Championship while attending St. Pius X High School in Albuquerque. The 23-year-old continued his education at New Mexico State, where he earned several awards, like the 2021 through 22 Western Athletic Conference Freshman of the Year. Well, that's all the sports that I have for you this week, but make sure to stay tuned after the break for a roundup of local events.
Good Morning Indian Country is supported by the University of Kansas William Allen White School of Journalism and Mass Communications.
Welcome back. As we wrap up today, we want to remind you about some big events coming up this weekend. Haskell's Welcome Back Powwow is set for Friday, September 26th. Come on down, bring your chairs, and enjoy some live powwow dancing, food vendors, and music. Head lady dancer Ella Bowen will be hosting a women's applique special where you can watch the dancers battle it out in a winner-take-all special. You're not going to want to miss this, and this event is free and open to the public.
Also this week, Haskell's USDA Extension Office will be hosting a second bison harvest on September 27th at 12:30 p.m. with a cookout to follow on the following day at 11 p.m. Both events located on the Haskell Power Grounds. The event is open to the public and is for all ages.
GMIC will be at both events and bring you those stories next week. Thanks for joining us for our first show of the fall semester. We hope to see you next week.
Don't forget to follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Good Morning Indian Country. We will see you next week. And another thank you to Press Forward, the Henry Luce Foundation, and the William Allen White School of Journalism for their support of our work. Stay good, Indian Country, and we will see you next week.